humanity is effectively one consciousness, experiencing itself subjectively. I am not just ZephyrNox. I'm also all of you. You are all of me. If something happens to me negatively, it actually affects everyone. Think of it this way: a body of water. You throw a rock in the water. It affects the entire body. Slowly but surely, ripples spread out, and you see that the disturbance of water in that one area spreads out and affects the rest of the water. It's slow, it's gradual, but it does happen.
This is Clavicular. He is the insecurity final raid boss. This guy's known for his looks maxing garbage, where he basically beats his own face with hammers in order to chisel his expression. He got surgeries, he wears makeup, he takes drugs, testosterone, meth, all sorts of cool stuff in order to essentially max his looks out. He doesn't care if he'll die young, he has no legacy to speak of, he is insecure, and he has a giant history of talking about how he feels inferior around men who have stronger piss streams than his piss stream. His piss stream is a little weak, and he was standing next to a black guy in the bathroom, and the black guy's piss stream was stronger. That guy absolutely mogged him. Well, let's just say this dude is exceedingly popular right now, mega viral, and everyone's talking about him because of two massive instances that just happened, and we're going to be talking about it. Not only because it is an exceedingly wacky story, but also because it encroached the world of politics, and a lot of Gen Z people are screaming about how smart he is, and they're retarded about this one. I'm not going to lie, the Zoomerwaffen did not cook on this one. Even asmongold, in my opinion, had a pretty bad take, which we're going to be looking at, and I normally agree with him. They're beefing with J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance responded. J.D. Vance is currently winning the polls in regards to most likely candidate to become the next president. And obviously these people don't like that at all for multiple reasons. Nick Fuentes doesn't like J.D. Vance because J.D. Vance is married to an Indian woman and also worked for a Jew. And Clavicular doesn't like J.D. Vance because he says he's a subhuman, fat, ugly monster. Bro, we have a lot to talk about today. So it all started with Clavicular.
I'm gonna stop him right there. I don't know. Again, Clavicular here is another streamer that I don't care about. I'd rather not talk about. But you know, it's kind of a slow day, so we're we're working with what we got here. So yeah, apparently. You've already heard a little bit of his backstory. He's about to cover the fact that Clavicular here had a stalker person that was, you know, because Clavicular is one of these IRL streamers, in real life streamers. So it's like they kind of just film themselves going about their day, doing whatever they're doing. So we have a stream sniper, the stalker. So sees him streaming, sees where he is, goes to find him and annoy him, and like obviously that kind of attitude, that kind of behavior can get grating on the person you're doing it to. So naturally, this happens.
Running over a stalker. All right. So you know, viewer discretion is advised. This video has over 35 million views. So there he is, driving, doing his thing. In his Cybertruck. He's super famous these days, which is why he's being platformed everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to show you the Michael Knowles video. Don't worry, chat. All right, and so this is one of his stalker retards jumps on the car. Clavicular doesn't give a shit, and he just drives and literally runs him over. Literally just ran over that guy. Oh my god, that's pretty crazy.
Another occasion in which I have no remorse, and you'll see why I believe so. Anyway, in a second. This one is not pre-watched. I didn't watch this beforehand, so I don't know what or how Nuxanor is going to cover about this. But I have already seen like different people cover the whole situation basically, and what went down and why Clavicular was so ready to just go ahead and run this guy over. And I don't, like, again, based on what I saw, I'm on the Clavicular side and probably would have done the same thing.
Currently, Clavicular has a very good chance of actually going to jail for this. But dude is, like, unbothered, like the actual Giga Chad meme, completely unbothered.
Is he dead?
Someone asks him, is he dead? And his response is...
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Holy shit. While I absolutely respect the no fucks given attitude, I personally, I subscribe to the belief of, it's the sixth commandment, thou shalt not murder. So, as much as I hate stalkers, and as much as that motherfucker had it coming, this is an actual subhuman, diabolical stance to take that let's literally kill him, hopefully he's dead. Obviously, this went super viral. We're going to talk about it a little more towards the end of the video, but I feel like it's important to understand what we're dealing with. Then this guy went around talking to women.
Who are you?
Well,
This lady says, I recognize you.
Why are you so fancy and popular?
it's
Why are you so popular?
because I ran over a guy with my car.
So, with a very high-pitched voice, Clavicular says, because I ran over a guy with my car.
Why? What? Are you going to jail?
Hope not.
Hope not.
Are you going to jail? I hope not. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but he is like a massively insecure guy. His actual rise to fame was that he was just completely unable to talk to women. So he started taking one drug in order to, make him look better, and unfortunately, it completely destroyed his sex drive. And then he took testosterone in order to give himself back a sex drive, and then it shriveled his nuts. And then he took something else to shrivel his nuts, to unshrivel his nuts, to inflate his nuts, some would say. And unfortunately, that, destroyed a different part of his body. Now, I am,
Interesting.
unfortunately, or fortunately, some would say, very well versed in internet lore. So I know of the rise of this guy, modern Patrick Bateman, just sitting there. Yep, I ran over a guy with my car.
Who's
Hell yeah,
Patrick
dude.
Bateman? I don't know
The
that.
response to this is diabolical, right? So people are saying, I never heard of this Clavicular guy until now. What an incredible first impression. Because Clavicular made this tweet: play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Giga Chad Clavicular running over this guy. Now, when someone blocks your vehicle, I do respect the idea of, moving the vehicle forward and pushing the guy out of the way, if at all possible. I don't celebrate the murder of the people. But despite the fact that that's my nuanced take, murder bad, but also literally fuck these people standing in front of your car, I only see retards in this discussion. I see people saying, hell yeah, kill those guys, and then I see people on the other side being like, no, you have to let these people walk all over you and ruin your life.
So yeah, obviously my super hot take is that murder is bad. Fucking obviously, right? No, sorry, of course it's not a hot take. I don't care that he ran him over. I'm glad that he didn't kill him because murder's bad. But I still would have ran the fucker over too, and hopefully, I'm glad that he didn't die, because apparently he didn't die. So it's not murder, but he might still go to jail anyway.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a cringe 10 Commandments enjoyer, and I think when God says thou shalt not murder, it's kind of an absolute rule, unless specifically stated otherwise, like self-defense or stuff like that. Anywho, Nick Fuentes is a huge fan of this guy, obviously. He's out there hanging with him as much as he can. He's a new up-and-comer. He's a big streamer. People are talking about him now. And, Nick Fuentes is a big streamer guy, and they got together. Even though, realistically, Nick Fuentes is, like, a Catholic that's against the death penalty, let me remind you. All right, unironically, Nick Fuentes is against the death penalty because of his Catholicism, but bro's take was wild.
In other news, Clav is one of the best creators to emerge in the last few years. Hashtag frequavicular, hashtag
He
chat
really
champion,
is.
never.
He's certainly one of the best. First of all, it's just good to see like a Chad white guy. And I tell all my friends that are 6 feet and above, I'm like, why aren't you doing this?
Yeah, everyone should be exactly like this guy, full of plastic surgery and bullshit and makeup, and Chad drives where Chad wants. You are in Chad's way. Again, wild perspective for the leader of movement to say. Like, in my opinion, like, this is such a baby rage soy movement at this point. Like, the celebration of this guy is purely because he's famous. Then Nick talks about his favorite clip of that guy.
Is this like punk ass kid is like, you date raped a girl, you drugged a girl's drink, and Clav like gets in his face and the jawline is protruding. Is gonna sound a little homosexual, but
yeah, you do you do that a lot, guy.
The jawline's
Oh god, these are just dudes talking about how sexy other dudes are. I will never do this, man. I don't get it.
Veins bulging. He's like, what did you just say to me? You don't go talking like that about me. And just totally gets in his face. I'm like, wow, finally a white guy standing on business.
That's right. Finally a white guy that allegedly date raped someone and is a chat about it. Yeah, personally, the more Charlie Kirk types are my role model. You know, healthy guy, you know, decently good looking, I guess. Has a
Wise,
family, gets
intelligent.
married, has children.
Yep, all that.
Preaches the gospel, fights for God, fights for his country. Honestly, makes the world a better place through his existence. That's my kind of role model, I guess. But anywho, to
Agreed.
each their own, I suppose. It's just wild watching people just completely fanboy out over.
Look, Charlie Kirk is younger than me, but I still looked up to him. I'm humble in that way. You're just because someone is younger doesn't mean they're less relevant or have like less to offer in terms of wisdom, like I said, and other such things. So, but yeah, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
Him because he's famous now and because he's Chad about it. So this guy, Clavicular, ended up on Michael Knowles' podcast.
Redefine marriage and
All right?
slaughter baby.
So Michael Knowles is a Daily Wire guy. He's a conservative commentator. And they basically, this is like a merging of two worlds. It's the Gen Z Nick Fuentes style world merging with the more, Michael Knowles is like a 35-year-old guy, merging with the more, relatively conservative world. Like he's a much more traditional Catholic guy as far as I understand it. And in my opinion, we need to talk about this because it's diabolical watching how retarded some people are. Some people are very retarded, and we are going to be talking about them. The crash out is absolutely diabolical.
I just don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to just advocate for your average person to only concern themselves with their own.
To me, that's the big cope. I agree with many of the observations you're making about the society, but the big...
Yeah, because he's not, like, stupid completely. I mean, I would argue that he's a little bit retarded. But he's not, like, he does recognize the fact that society is mega cooked right now. We need way more deportations. We need Trump to go way more radical. All right? We need actual government officials going to jail. We need all of this stuff happening. We need to end the mass migration replacement bullshit. And he's right about all this, and he acknowledges that the whole transgender thing is stupid. It's a mental illness. All right, so we're on the same page. Now, in regards to policy, they're very different prescriptions. Clavicular's like, why do you care, though? Like, just ignore it. It doesn't affect you. And in my opinion, again,
No,
I used to have
it
that
does.
perspective probably 10 years ago, so I kind of get where he's coming from. But he's wrong.
Yeah,
He's
he
completely
is.
and utterly wrong, because it will affect you. It will all affect you. Everything will affect you.
cope. You heard this with like the libs when they were trying to push the trans stuff and they were upset that some of us were pushing against it. And they said, how does this affect you? You know, you're walking out. It's basically...
And then your child ends up hearing from their school teacher that they should castrate themselves in order to feel comfortable in their own body. And then it affects you. Because your child ends up becoming a deformed homunculus. Now, that's just a really basic answer. The more complicated answer is it seeps into every part of your culture. It perverts and poisons the culture that you're in. And I think it's, honestly, realistically, very bad. And I used to be a live and let live guy, but I am no longer in that boat. Absolutely not. As an example, I think marriage is sacred. It's a bond between a man and a woman and God. I think that is what marriage is. And it became this legalese terminology that's now used. And now there's gay marriage. And now there's other marriage. And now there's child trafficking to certain couples with specific sexual perversions, some would say. You get grooming. And then you get all these kids turning out to be complete whack jobs. And it gets normalized, and it gets put in children's TV shows to teach children that this is normal. And it's completely anti-God in every way. I think it's destructive for society on a massive scale. And I could talk about this forever. But the point is, I get where you...
And since he's not talking about marriage anymore, before he changes topics, I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 cents in. Look, if I'm going to get married, marriage laws need to change. I'm a man who's nearly... I'm getting up there. I'm pretty, like, I'm older than, let's just say this, I'm older than freaking this dude right here. I forget his name right now for some reason. But yeah, I'm older than he is. So like, I'm also far less wealthy than he is. So if I'm busting my butt doing this kind of a thing, trying to finally get to a place where I'm financially, settled, and I could, I'm comfortable with my situation financially. Do I marry some woman and she just, up and has a feeling one day and decides she wants to divorce and take half my stuff after I worked so hard to get all that stuff? No, I refuse. No. Marriage is off the table until such a time as that's an impossibility to happen for me. So, yeah, that's my take. I did not spend my life entirely like being broke and struggling to get to where I want to be. Then finally get there because I'm not there yet, not even close. To then what? Have again fall in love, find a woman, marry that woman, and then have, again a feeling. Oh, he works too much, or whatever the case, whatever BS excuses that she wants to use. Oh, I'm not feeling it anymore. I'm divorcing you. I'm taking half your stuff, including the house. Get the hell out of here. No, thank you. No, it's not happening. That's my take. Anyway, moving on.
He's coming from, because I used to have that same perspective. It doesn't bother you, so why do you care? Anyway.
Basically, your society is Sodom and Gomorrah, and they say...
He's right, though, by the way. Sodom and Gomorrah was a fucked up society, and God destroyed it. I think there's a lot to be said from that.
Well, how does it affect you if I decide I want to, like, castrate little kids in the school and redefine marriage and slaughter babies and sacrifice them to Moloch? And how does that affect you? You just mind your own business. And I think
he's completely right. It's like, he's completely correct. Like, we're living in a country where 1 million babies a year are getting murdered through abortion, and what these people are basically saying, well, they can do whatever they want, actually.
How about I don't mind my own business? How about my business is my community, and I have a right to enforce standards and norms that are good and traditional and conducive to flourishing? And how about you mind your own business?
But the problem is, you see what you just did there is you spiked your cortisol.
You spiked your cortisol. You got emotionally engaged with the topic. What's much better is not to have emotions and to be a psychopath robot. Oh my God. He figured out the truth. Now, the irony is, no one's cortisol gets more spiked than this retard absolutely obsessing about how girls don't want to talk to him and stuff like that. You know, dealing with all of his insecurities, and perhaps he wakes up with a pimple one day and he loses his mind because his entire brand is maxing, making him the peak humanity. That's his entire thing.
Thinking about transgenders.
Will that max anything on me?
No,
I think he'd fit in well with Scientology.
That's a very catabolic hormone.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. You're not supposed to care about things that can affect your children or slaughter your people. You should actually just totally not care about these things, because that would be bad for your looks. Again, retard world, man.
So if you're advocating for people to, go around and, concern themselves with these issues, or go to, like school.
What does go around mean? Just think for yourself. Just, worship God or whatever. Michael Knowles is preaching here.
Like board conferences and be outspoken about this. That's just largely going to be unproductive.
Except it's completely not unproductive. This is the mindset that's just totally asinine. Maybe it's because he's a young guy and he just didn't get there yet. Maybe he didn't think of this. It's not true. It's literally a lie. Like, I don't think you realize. This guy's entire career only exists because different people are willing to push the envelope. He's out there, saying the N-words and saying slurs and shit about different people and whatever on his streams and stuff. And he's only able to do that because of this war against censorship that's fought by every single man.
So wait, Clavicular's out here saying the N-word? I thought Kick banned people for that. That's specifically why I've tried not to say it. Look, man. Again, I grew up in New York. I heard it all the time in the hood. Like, why would you get upset at hearing other people say it just because they're a different race? Ninja, please give me a break. It's ridiculous.
And individually, and it's because of these million voices that compounded that allows you to have a platform that will let you say what you say. Otherwise, the Democroids would have completely run you over and gotten you blacklisted from the entire internet. That's just an example of how it affects you. If these conversations wouldn't be had, if we didn't have people pushing the envelope through the years, Jordan Peterson or whatever, or Ben Shapiro saying that facts don't care about your feelings, or Matt Walsh saying what is a woman, or any of these other thousands and thousands of voices that actually said these things, we would completely be falling down an infinite spiral of retards.
Yes.
And honestly, it pulled us out of that. In fact, under Trump, The trans issue is completely botched. I don't think people realize that the number of people coming out as trans is so much smaller now because so many more people are comfortable saying, yeah, this is a mental illness. You'll grow out of it. Literally stop. And for the most part, they will. People will grow out of it when it's a kid in puberty instead of just castrating them. You know, what we thought was unthinkable is now happening. The Congress just passed a bill talking about how it's illegal now to mutilate children through gender sex operation surgeries, gender affirming care bullshit. The reality is these things matter. The reality is that you affect the people around you and the people watching and the people listening to you, and you can mold their minds to actually see the truth. So again, this is a completely and utterly bullshit asinine take. The take of don't fight for truth because it doesn't really matter and you're not really going to make a difference and it stresses you out. So be a coward and a pussy and run away. That's essentially his mindset, and it's honestly sad and pathetic.
And
not at all a Chad-based perspective.
It might seem like a doomer mentality, or like, you're just going to let society go to it's like on an individual level, it's not going to be productive.
But on a political...
So don't do anything. So no one should ever do anything because an individual can't really make a change. That's the argument he's making.
It's definitely short-sighted and not exactly intelligent. Look, I'm gonna go at it this way, right? Humanity is, believe it or not, and this is my belief. This is how I feel. This is what I think. Humanity is effectively one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. So I am not just ZephyrNox. I'm also all of you. You are all me. If something happens to me negatively, it actually affects everyone. How do I? So like, okay, think of it this way. A body of water. You throw a rock in the water. It affects the entire body. Slowly but surely, ripples spread out, and you see that the disturbance of water in that one area again spreads out and affects the rest of the water. It's slow, it's gradual, but it does happen. If you speak to individuals about reality and why, whatever insert issue you want to talk about here, transgenderism, yeah, it's a mental illness. You cannot just, change your biological gender. You just can't do it. It doesn't matter what you do. You were born as a man. You cannot be a female. Sorry, that's how it is. And the more people understand and accept that, the closer to a harmonious society that we're going to live in. So yeah, individually it does help, and his take is wrong. He's just wrong. Anyway, moving on.
It's unbelievable how asinine and retarded it is, and honestly, how cowardly it is.
Right. Well, look, it's been productive in as much as, at least the trans thing, there's so many other problems. Well, at least the trans things, though, we've kind of won on that.
Well, the way that I see trannies is like, that's one more person to mog once they...
It's one more person to mock. Yeah, that's right. They just mutilate themselves and then I look hotter than them. That's right, guys. I actually like trannies because those guys go out there and they literally mutilate themselves so that I could look hotter than them. I don't even need to try to look hotter than them. I already look hot. I mog them because they mutilate themselves, actually.
Brutally butcher themselves transitioning.
I mean... True, but also, maybe as a collective society, we don't want that to be happening.
No,
but is it? I see that.
Like, go descend yourself. Like, that's fine with me.
Because you're ascending yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna ascend, and this person is gonna be a comical botch job. You know, so like that just seems like very logical to me. Like, yeah, go be a tranny. Like, now I mog you to death.
Now isn't
this is the most diabolical? Like, look at DGs. He doesn't even know what to say. Like, how do you even converse with people like?
He seems a bit flabbergasted, just for sure. Yeah.
like this. So this guy recognizes that transgenderism is a mental illness. All right, he recognizes that men are men and women are women, and you can't change your genders and all that shit. He recognizes that. He knows it's bad for society. He knows it's bad for children. He knows that countless children are getting affected by this grooming mentality, by mutilative surgeries, and he's just like, well, that's good. The more of them that get mutilated, the more people that are less hot than me. Which on the one hand is a very funny thing to say, but on the other hand is one of the most pathetic ideological stances I've ever heard in my life.
It's not just pathetic, it's poisonous. Simply allowing everyone to make bad choices without intervening or saying, at least saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that because it's going to affect you negatively. Just because, not saying anything just because it makes you look and feel better about yourself. That's how is that leading to a better world? And it just isn't. I'm sorry, but that's just not the right way to go about things. At least say something to somebody, at least like a family member, right? Like someone you can have influence over or do have influence over. Like, hey, maybe you shouldn't call yourself Victor when you're born, Vanessa. Sorry, no, that's not how things work. You can't just do that.
And this dude is, he's the new voice. He's the new voice for the Zoomerwaffen, ladies and gentlemen. So this is him talking about how J.D. Vance is subhuman. Now, if you look at current Poly market, the odds for the 2028 election is Vance at 31%, Newsom at 18%, and these are the two highest candidates.
Newsom at 18%, that's way too high. I imagine that's going to drop as soon as we find evidence of him stealing taxpayer money.
It looks like Vance is winning by a lot. Obviously, everything could change within the next 3 years, but right now, Vance is in the lead by a lot. So what he's about to say, take it with a grain of salt. He's wrong. Take it with a grain of salt. So far, he's wrong. But anyway, you have to hear this. This is one of the most diabolical political analyses of all time. And the main reason why I'm showing this to you is because it's garnering a lot of respect and views. A lot of people are looking at me like, yo, he's actually making a point here. People like asmongold even think he's correct about this, and it's wild.
This next election cycle, who's going to win? It's going to be Gavin Newsom against J.D. Vance because J.D. Vance is subhuman and Gavin Newsom mugs.
J.D. Vance is subhuman?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
He's got a very short total facial width to height ratio.
That's right. That's
He's
true.
obese.
He's right.
Very
obese.
recessed side profile.
Right.
Whereas
Side profile.
Newsom is like 6'3" Chad.
So you're JD's version.
Right. So J.D. Vance.
Right, because the entirety of the American population votes based exclusively on how the man looks. Right, because we're that vapid and retarded. Come on, man.
Versus Gavin Newsom. This is an easy win for Gavin Newsom. The guy who literally destroyed his own state versus the guy who's so far been doing basically everything that people wanted him to do. He thinks Gavin Newsom is a better candidate for presidency because he's tall and skinny.
Pretty tall. JD's got to be.
Well, still,
6'2",
I mean,
6'3".
Gavin Newsom obviously mogs him to death.
So you're a Newsom head. You prefer Newsom to the vice president.
I'm just telling you who's going to win.
Do you prefer him, though?
Honestly,
I love how he needs to think about this. Gavin Newsom as president would welcome infinite foreigners into our countries, would close the borders, would bring in as many people as he can. He's a puppet to China and a puppet to Mexican cartels. He would bring in as many people as he can. He'd populate our country with infinite Islamic communities. He has been known to absolutely waste all the money and funds in his city. He spent hundreds of billions of dollars to fix homelessness, but homelessness is increasing in California, where he is a governor.
Yeah.
LA was on fire and he did nothing about it.
Gavin Newsom was repeatedly told by Trump and others, hey, you should probably do some controlled burns in the forest so that you won't, have these huge forest fires that are hard to fight later on. And yeah, he just didn't do it. He just didn't do it. Let's divert taxpayer money from the firefighters. Let's give them less of a budget so that we can do whatever the hell I forget what else they did with it. But they actually took away their firefighter budget by a little bit, cut the budget, and not make sure that the fire hydrants have water in them so that we can fight fires when it does occur, and and then boom, actions have consequences. The fire occurs. People get displaced. They lose their homes because they all burn down. What a shock! Oh my goodness! And we're supposed to vote for this guy, take this guy seriously as a presidential candidate? Hell no, dude. On top of all the things that Nuxanor just said he is in fact going to do, I wouldn't doubt. He would also, redirect funds to line someone else's pockets, probably his own, and endanger the lives of every last American as the president of the United States to see the ship of the country that is metaphorically speaking sink into the ocean, drowning every individual American who doesn't have his own wealth savings to potentially go somewhere else where it's safer to be. Ridiculous. No, I want him to. Frankly, if once it's proven, like where it's like Tim Walz is proven to be on the take with the Minnesota fraud, I want to see him in jail. And once I very much believe, as you just heard, Nuxanor talking about the homelessness issue in California, tens of billions of dollars spent to solve the crisis, and yet somehow there's more homeless than before. Yeah, I imagine there's some embezzling going on there as well. So I'd like to see him go to jail as well. Good luck serving as president when you're in jail.
Gavin Newsom is a nightmare. He spent the last 10 years and hundreds of billions of dollars to build a high-speed rail, of which no high-speed rail was made. He's a complete nightmare. But he's thinking about it.
It's hard to say, but Newsom being that much more of a mogger, and like having a president who's like fat and especially that young.
You think he's? I don't think he's fat.
I would say
he's a bigger guy for sure.
He's just like, it's just embarrassing. Like, how are you fat and you expect to like lead a country? You can't.
Just gonna say it. He's kind of right about that. He is kind.
I mean, look, Trump is not obese, but he's overweight too. Like he's a bigger guy, but he's leading. He's doing a good job leading. I don't think like physical fitness is the end all be all of qualifications to be a freaking president of the United States. Like, come on, that's retarded.
Kind of right about that. Again, I don't think JD Vance is fat. I don't think he's fit per se, but I don't think he's fat. And in fact, he just literally trained with the Navy SEALs. I mean, as you can see, bro is not the pinnacle of fitness, but it's still pretty good, all right? Obviously, I think he could lose a couple of pounds, but no, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. And also, more importantly than any of this, JD Vance reposted this saying he fixed it. And this is absolute cinema. This might be one of the greatest tweets on all of the internet. Absolute cinema. Elon Musk. Bro, dude, stop. All right, anyway, back to this guy. JD Vance is fat and subhuman.
Can't even be in shape,
So
technically round is a shape.
Let's say you got a vote. It's 2028.
I'm voting for Gavin Newsom.
You're voting for Gavin Newsom.
You can't be that. You can't be that subhuman.
So
I'm convinced. Clavicular is a retard now. Okay. Never mind. He's a retard.
Hold on. You got. All right. Well, this actually is up a thread with the whole conversation.
This is perfect.
Because
I'm so happy he said this, man. I'm so happy he said this for two reasons. One reason is we shouldn't settle. All right. We shouldn't settle for absolute retards in the government. All right. We need the government to actually be good. All right. So I do like that on one hand. On the other hand, I like that people are seeing that this is an actual perspective that retards have.
You look at these two candidates. You have Gavin Newsom, worst governor in the country. I think we would all agree. Destroyed his state, let its main city burn to the ground because of his incompetence, is a personal, complete derelict, liar, degenerate.
Cheated on his wife multiple times. His wife cheated on him.
But he is good looking. I'll grant you that he's good looking.
Yep.
And it kind of looks like Patrick Bateman, American Psycho.
Hey.
And then you have this vice president to President Trump, the transformative right-wing president in our lifetimes, who, do you support Trump or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got this vice president handpicked by Trump, who is extremely intelligent, very right-wing. I think he's a pretty good-looking guy. I don't know. Maybe I guess you disagree. But he's all these things, checks all these boxes, would have all these great policies. And regardless, you're going to pick the pro-mass migrant, pro-trans, pro-murder the babies, pro-burn the cities to the ground, pro-BLM Democrat, because he's skinnier than the conservative vice president.
100 times over. JD Vance.
I'm really glad that they did this, man. I'm really glad that they did this. People don't realize how Like how retarded some of the retards are. Some of the people with the biggest voices are the biggest idiots.
Would he be a better candidate and probably closer to me in terms of policy than Gavin Newsom? Yes, but he's just not going to be good enough to be deserving. I think the
because
right
doesn't
has
look as good
kind
as
of
Gavin
let
Newsom.
down the voters for
He's
the longest
retarded.
time. So I think I don't really think that
Like, you want to talk about being shallow? Holy shit!
right wingers should just give support to these jesters who continue to underdeliver on their promises. Just let the Democrats win. That's kind of what I'm talking about in terms of just
Yeah, so this is a very popular opinion these days that you see from a lot of fringe places on the internet and on the right. Asmongold says stuff like this. Nick Fuentes says stuff like this. They're so wrong. They're so unbelievably wrong. It's such a childish mentality, in my opinion. Again, no hate to anybody here or anything. But that is potentially one of the most asinine statements ever. Yes, I agree with you. The Trump administration should be doing more. Yes, I agree with you. I wish that the Republican Party would stop being complete bitches and be fucking radical retards. Deport millions, all right? That's what I'm talking about.
Like, if mistakes are made and we accidentally send some people that are actually American citizens out, we'll get it back. Like, sorry for the misunderstanding, but we just wanted to make sure that we fix the country as fast as possible. Like, I prefer that, frankly. I don't know, man. I think that's better than allowing the downslide, like clavicular here is talking about. Oh, let's just accelerate things to make it as bad as possible so that more people wake up faster and we can all work together to give it. I think I prefer the gradual improvement, even if it's slow, to making everyone suffer equally or what have you until everyone realizes, hey, we should probably change things for the better instead of making things worse. Yeah, that's my take.
Basically agree that we are being let down drastically. However, you cannot possibly compare the difference between having a right-wing government and a left-wing government in the United States. You literally can't compare it. They're banning, genital mutilation for children now in the United States. All right, they stopped the trans people in female sports or whatever. A relatively small issue, don't get me wrong. But the difference is, under Biden, we let in 30 million illegals. Under Trump, we have a net minus migration of over 2 million. It's not nearly enough. But if Biden would be president for
And it's only been a year. I mean, how much work and time and resources were spent getting them out? Good job, Tom Homan. Truly. Okay. We still have, 28 million to go. But I tell you what, it's a lot better than 30 million. Good job. Imagine it's a million. Contemplate in your mind how many people that is. That's a lot of freaking people. A million times two. It's a lot. It's a lot, dude.
The year we'd have another 10 million people in here. So you can't possibly compare the two. And I think even more importantly, while there is a right-wing president, while we're able to fight for a more radical right-wing president in specific areas, in my opinion, it'll keep happening. Slowly but surely, more people are going to enter into Congress that are people that are selected by us, this generation that actually does want the government to be fucking crazy in certain regards. People that do want the mass migration to stop and mass deportations to happen. We're having this conversation about giant Somali fraud in Minnesota right now. That wouldn't happen under Biden. Literally wouldn't happen. They would censor these people and ban them. They banned Donald Trump from the internet, from social media. He had to make his own little Truth social media site because they banned him from YouTube and Twitch and Twitter.
The Democrats actively want to infringe on our First Amendment rights. They actively want to infringe on our Second Amendment rights. They're literally trying to take our rights away. And we have retards talking about, oh, Trump's the fascist. Are you fucking kidding me?
I think that despite the fact that I personally do complain about the fact that our government, even the right-wing government, isn't radical enough and doesn't go far enough and doesn't arrest enough officials and doesn't deport enough people, I could say with certainty that we probably wouldn't have a country if we had another left-wing government right after Biden.
Yeah.
The absolute censorship, the infinite money given to Israel and Ukraine and every other shithole around the world. mass migration where we just import another million Somalians to take other voting blocks from different states that the Democrats need to win. No voter ID in different places. We'd never win another election. So while this perspective sounds good on paper, we should just let the Democrats win because the right isn't doing enough, and then maybe the right will actually do something for us. It would literally destroy the country. So anyway.
Like why I don't support Vance as a voter. But
So you're saying no, they shouldn't vote for any Republican. The right-wingers should not vote.
And by the way, that's why Nick Fuentes did a whole campaign before the 2024 election saying not to vote for Trump because Trump likes the Jews. And that's not enough. He wants everything, and Trump's not enough. Better to have more Kamala Harris.
For the Republicans.
not until the right actually wants to do the things that they're promising.
So is there a candidate you would prefer? I assume you don't actually want to vote for Newsom. Maybe you do. Maybe
No,
you are a Democrat.
no.
Okay. So then who's a right-winger you want to vote for? Or maybe there isn't one.
No, yeah, there really isn't one.
It's kind of doomer, isn't it? So now you're saying if you're a real hardcore Giga Chad right-winger, you should let the Democrats rape your country.
Well, yeah, you kind of have to. Like, that's the accelerationist mentality because, like,
Such a terrible take. It's insane.
look, what is the right going to
God.
do other than just, like, a small win here and, like, you know, maybe you overturn Roe v. Wade on, like, a federal
Bro,
level?
the small wins add up. The small wins snowball. Small wins are in place of humongous losses.
But abortion
Pretty
is
big.
still allowed, like state to state. So it's like it really doesn't do anything. It's like if these people are just gonna like continue.
Maybe you deport 2 million
Yeah, but it
people.
moves in the
Maybe
right
Okay, but there's still
restore some
28 million
American-
It moves in the right direction. That's the point. No, it's not going to change everything because unfortunately the democracy in America is cringe and slow, and we need to cut the government into slithers, into slithereens. We got to fucking obliterate the government and reform it as like a couple of people. End the bureaucracy. Look, man, I have big dreams. But
Yeah, we don't need 400 different people in like the Senate or like however many that we have in Congress. Like, we can have a smaller government and it function much better because of that. Whatever. Yeah, that's yeah, smaller government for sure.
the reality is you're not going to get there by letting the Democrats win forever.
No, we are
Or
not.
maybe
Okay,
you
but there's still
restore some of the
28 million
American
more,
economy.
right? So until these people actually want to make changes that matter, right?
I think 2 million people matters. I think
Does it in a country of how many people? Like, what do we?
330 million or so.
Exactly. So it's like this is, we're not really making any progress.
Yeah, but the difference is we are 2 million illegals less as opposed to 10 million illegals more. People don't want to recognize that that is a big difference.
Progress here. So for the RNC to just demand voters to continue to show up, for what? Really, it's just that's the cope. Right?
To ensure further progress in the right direction. Hello? Like, what are we talking about here, dude? This guy's retarded, like I said. Jesus.
That's what I'm simply advocating
help
for.
me.
Until like the policies change and like the rhetoric is a little better.
How would the policies change? This is what I'm confused about, is had a Democrat won, it just used this past year, had a Democrat won, it just used this past year, had a Democrat won, we would get, just judging by Biden's policies, it was Biden's vice president who was running, you would add 3 million illegal aliens to the country. Because Trump won, not only do you not add 3 million, you lose 2 million. So now you have a net change of 5 million potential foreigners who would be in the United States over the course of 1 year. And you're saying, yeah, it's not good enough. Sorry,
It's
Brett.
not. It really is not good enough.
So what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm realizing that society is going one direction, and I'm trying to improve myself as much as possible so that I could succeed financially, so that I can improve my status and
It's such a selfish mentality. It's wild.
improve my quality of life.
But
It's like, yeah, I don't care if like I would literally vote for people to destroy our country, but I'll be fine.
what's very interesting about it is by saying, look, not only am I apathetic, I want the Democrats to win because they're going to be bad,
Yes.
because they're going to screw up the country,
Yes.
and then we'll have a revolution, it'll be good again.
Right.
What's interesting about that to me is it reflects something quite real and I think quite understandable, which is
And like I said, that's basically he laid out his arguments in summary, and again, I'll say it, it's again short-sighted because like yeah, okay, So we'll have a revolution, as though that's easy as though millions upon millions of lives wouldn't be lost over the course of the revolution. Younger people are gonna have to be the ones fighting, and rather than let it get to that point, how about we just, it makes more sense to me, frankly. We even if yeah, okay, they're quote unquote not doing enough, but they're at least we're moving in the right direction. You cannot expect instant change. Snap your fingers. Oh, all the 30 million illegals that came in over the course of 4 years or more got instantly deported magically to back where they came from at no cost whatsoever. And so suddenly everything's happy-go-lucky. Everyone's living happy lives in their own freaking mansion. That's not unrealistic. It's not gonna happen. So no, I don't. I vehemently disagree with this. It's retarded.
Is the alienation, especially among young men, especially among young right-wing men, from the country that at very high levels in popular media and government has told that group of people that they suck for like 30
Bro, I didn't add that edit in. That was added to by whoever posted this on Twitter.
years. That I totally resonate with. So how widespread do you think that alienation is?
I would say that the reason that I have the success I do is because it's almost in every kid my age who in the same demographic, as people are tired of, being banned on social media. People are tired of...
Yeah, well, who's stopping that? Who's stopping the banning of everybody on social media?
Called toxic.
Right. The government not advocating for them whatsoever. So I would...
It's crazy that people aren't like waking up and realizing that it's the other side that's banning people on social media. If we wouldn't have a right-wing government, we'd just look like, England, where they literally arrest 300 people a day for social media posts, or Australia or France or Canada or any of these other libtard shitholes. And people they're not willing to acknowledge that. Right, but you see, and everyone's like supporting everybody, and the people are supporting this guy's, stance here. It's so based that he's fighting back against the system. Nick Fuentes sold me on Clav. He mogged Knowles. Bro, what are we doing? And
caring only about yourself and making sure that you are financially secure, despite the country going to crap, isn't you fighting the system. It's just you being selfish. Because while you can take steps to make sure that, even though, he can take steps to both make the world a better place around him, plus, do what he has to do for himself to be financially secure. But he's saying he's going to choose not to do that, and it hasn't been asked of him directly. Why would you make that choice? I wonder what he would say.
This is him talking about.
Clav is one of the best creators to emerge in the last.
Man, the Overman will arrive soon. I'm the madman in the marketplace. I heralded the coming of the Overman. And so it was. Years ago, I said, white ass nigga going hard as fuck. If you're not a Wang F, don't even talk to me. And
yeah, so anyway, everyone is literally going apeshit crazy over this. You get, this is a big divide on the right also. You have some people on the right that are literally tear the whole thing down. We don't care. And the other side is very much not that. So Greg the Groiper says, we all knew Clavicular would mog Knowles, but he also taught him about politics.
In terms of policy, then?
And then it's the clip about how we should actually just let our country get destroyed and raped and murdered and pillaged for the sake of, Gavin Newsom's hotter or something. Clavicular, there's no candidate on the right I'd vote for. Michael, so you'd let the Democrats run the country? Yeah. Groipers, this is a win. It makes you really wonder what we're doing here, man. It makes you really wonder. It's kind of wild. Look, man, maybe I'm less retarded in this regard, and maybe this is just me thinking that some people just don't live in reality.
I mean, look. Let's say this movement is big enough to affect the election in such a way that, they get what they're asking for, which I don't think will lead to what they want. And get what they're asking for in terms of the Democrats win. The country goes further down the shithole, and we do in fact get the revolution that I'd rather not see happen. Then I guess at that point, it's as God wills it. Because like I say, every individual vote does in fact count, right? But because you're an individual, the outcome of the election is not in your control. And so, like I say, if that is what God wills, then there's not a whole lot, an individual like myself or anyone really could do to stop it. But I don't agree that this is the right path to go down. So hopefully we see some of these gropers wisen up before the midterms come around.
But the reality is as follows. I'm a big fan of God, personally. I love that America is a Christian nation that was founded on biblical values. I think that these traditional biblical values are the core of what makes Western civilization awesome and what makes America the greatest country ever. The other stance is literally destroying and giving into the demons that are so happy to destroy our country because, well, after the demons kill us, we can actually then defeat the demons instead of trying to defeat the demons now, and granted, a much less grandiose and spectacular and bloody fashion. I want to vote for the party that's not trying to import infinite retards. That's not trying to murder a generation of babies every year. The party that is not the one that is trying their absolute best to castrate children. Are they perfect? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We all fall short of the grace of God. That's so obvious. However, there is one that is just drastically better than the other. Now, there were a couple of pretty awesome clips from this podcast. I'm not gonna lie, a pretty awesome clip. So this is Sydney Sweeney. This is their commentary on Sydney Sweeney. I think this is pretty great.
What are we talking about by hot? Like good looking? Like some people think that like Sydney Sweeney is.
I'll say it. Stacked, big chest, my favorite thing. Hello, hi, right here. So
extremely attractive.
I would say, I don't want to scandalize anybody, a married man. I would say Sydney Sweeney is very attractive.
I would say that she's pretty malformed.
Malformed.
Her upper maxilla is extremely recessed. Right?
And he just throws out he knows terminology that I don't know. Upper maxilla, recessed, like. I'll be honest. I'm ignorant. I don't know what the hell that means. What the heck is maxilla? Like some small insignificant portion of the face that makes it look it's suboptimal. So therefore she's not hot. Like come on, man. Stop being so ridiculous.
She's got the eyes of doom with no infraorbital support. She's
Infraorbital.
really not that much of a looker in her face. I think that a lot of people.
Bro, you're gay. You're gay. No one's looking at her face.
With fans find her attractive because of her body.
I don't have porn. I don't know. Well, you're telling me that
I don't
that if
know.
a guy finds Sydney Sweeney attractive, he's got to have porn
I
brain?
think that she's above average in looks, but certainly not that like,
No, you said she's got a sunken suborbital. I forget the words that you said.
Yeah, she's got a recessed infraorbitals and a recessed upper maxilla.
You're telling me you go to a bar.
This guy's gay as fuck. This guy's gay. Also, insecurity final boss. Holy shit.
I'm just saying she's not the pinnacle of looks that I'm talking about to actually succeed on social media. She's
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to make it. She wouldn't be able to make it, guys.
average to above average.
Yeah.
If she suddenly became an OF model, she would instantly make millions. Like it wouldn't even be. That's not. I don't think that's in question, to be honest. But like, I'm glad that she's not. Just putting that out there because I believe OnlyFans is a cancer on our society. But if she chose to do that, I'm sure she would make tons of money.
It's just like who the fuck cares? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Beautiful.
Literally,
What are we talking about by hot? Like good looking? Like
It's insane that this is happening, man. So this is one of the greatest clips in the history of the Daily Wire.
Are there any downsides to hitting yourself in the head with a hammer?
no.
There are no downsides to hitting yourself in the head with a hammer. According to clavicular over here, very based, honestly,
Yeah,
because
super
this dude
based,
literally had
retarded,
clips
yeah.
for hours and hours at a time where he would smash himself in the face with a hammer in order to mold his bones to look more Chad-like. I'm not even kidding. This dude's insane. So Nick Fuentes tweets, "Physiognomy is real. Post physique is handsome Thursday. I only believe in beauty and aesthetics. JD Vance equals fat subhuman. Newsom mogs him to death. I would vote for him 100 times over because he's handsome." No, not like that. You have to vote for the Republican. Literally, what the fuck am I looking at, man? It's like, America first. Let's literally vote for the guy that'll import infinite retards to kill us because JD Vance is fat. You know, sometimes Nick Fuentes will say something unfathomably based, just completely based, and it's like, yo, he's so right about this. And then sometimes he'll say something that's just like interdimensional levels of retarded. And, you know, it's crazy. And I know that people are going to tell me this is just sarcasm. It's sarcasm. It's just sarcasm. It's half sarcasm. It's written in a way to make you think it's sarcasm when there is a sniff of truth there, which is why he literally told his audience before the 2024 election not to vote for Trump. He urged his audience to not vote for Trump because Trump liked Jews too much. I'm not even joking. That's a real thing. So, meanwhile, in Nick Fuentes' world, there's a lot of shit going on these days. There's drama in the Nick Fuentes world. There was a prominent groiper by the name of Virillium. He's like a YouTuber, Instagram guy. He was exposed for being a transsexual gay guy, massive radical leftist 2 years ago. Anyway, Virillium's response is JD Vance supporters are digging up dirt on his gay past. Because he was shitting on him. So this guy says, I appreciate anyone going out to bat for me. I'm just, again, ignore this thing. I'm not an apologist or a tradcon influencer. I'm a flawed guy with an addict, degen past. I came to Christ in 2023 and blew up on Instagram this year making videos. So just to understand this, 2 years ago, he was a gay porn transsexual poster. And now he's blaming everything on the Jews for a living. Crazy how once you start questioning Jewish power, the thousands of posts you made about openly being gay come to light, as if late 2023 was at a different time. I can't believe this. I exposed the Jews, and then they all exposed my thousands of gay porn in crazy trans shit that I've been posting. Unbelievable the way the Jews would do this. So this is a prominent Nick Fuentes guy. I don't know, man. This guy, you know, India has its own Zionism. Oh my god!
What?
I didn't know what I was looking at here, but bro, that's wild. Oh my god! Holy shit! These are the guys that are unbelievable, bro. That's crazy. This guy's gonna say JD Vance is a subhuman because his face height to width ratio is not good, and this dude literally his face looks like a Minecraft block. Absolutely diabolical. Now, Asmongold reacted to this as well. Saying Republicans should be scared right now. I'm not even going to lie. I think he's correct. Now, this is actually not a great like-to-dislike ratio for his videos usually. But in my opinion, Asmongold is one of the worst takes here I've ever heard from him. It's not Hassan tier bad, but it's pretty bad.
Well, we could talk about JD Vance. Like, I think JD Vance, would he be a better candidate and probably closer to me in terms of policy than Gavin Newsom? Yes, but he's just not going to be good enough to be deserving. I think the right has kind of let down the voters for the longest time. So I think I don't really think that right wingers should just give support to these jesters who can
absolutely
continue to underdeliver on their promises. You know, just let the Democrats win. That's kind of what I'm talking about in terms of just like why I don't support Vance as a voter. But
seriously, I have been waiting for this for years.
It's such a bad take, bro. It's crazy. Oh.
I am so happy. I am so happy, bro. Like, because I was worried, like, for a long time, this is a stupid idea. No, it's not. No, it's not. Your support is not guaranteed. The thing is that...
I agree with that. So fight over the best right-wing candidate. I don't know. Back a different right-wing candidate. Well, let's say you don't like Vance. Let's say you like Rubio better. So back Rubio. Okay? I'm just giving an example here. But when it comes down to the wire, and let's say the nominee is Vance and his opponent is Newsom, if you throw the country to the dogs, you are literally hastening the destruction of Western civilization.
Everybody that says it's stupid, the reason why you think it's stupid is because you're still in the cave.
Oh, shit.
You need to come out of the cave.
Oh, shit.
You need to stop existing inside of this little box that they put you in, and it said you can be disrespected or you can get fucked over. Well, no. I don't want to be in this box.
Yeah, so slowly but surely elect politicians that you think could actually nudge the Overton window and society in the right direction. You're literally voting for the pro-infinite immigration, pro-censorship guy. It's like, okay, I understand that we're not getting the exact, nominee that I want to run the country, so I'm going to vote for England. All right, so I'm going to vote that America becomes England, where we import infinite retards that want to overthrow us. Like, it is a wild perspective. I get the appeal, right?
And again, I'm gonna just say it again. People that are gonna have to fight in the revolution aren't gonna be guys like me. They're gonna be guys like Clavicular, or at least his age group anyway, over mine, and because I doubt he himself would actually do that based on his obvious selfishness. But yeah, it'll be guys closer to my little brother's age. My little brother's like 16, roughly. I'm scared for people like that who have to deal with the course of action, the revolution that would occur as a necessity because of the accelerationism to the downfall of our country. Let's not go that route. Let's just not, please. It's scary. I'd rather not go down that route.
This is the accelerationist mentality of, let it all burn and then we rebel and actually install a government that we want that actually does work for us and does properly arrest criminals and prosecute politicians and does all the things we want. But the reality is, this is not the way to get there, dude.
Box anymore. This box sucks.
Oh my God, dude.
This is a shitty box.
Saying no, they shouldn't vote for any Republican.
That's right.
The right-wingers should not vote
until
for the Republican.
Not unless they deliver something that matters. That's the reason why people voted.
Yeah, but the thing is, it matters. Yes, not even remotely on the scale that we want it to be. All right, don't get me wrong, but it does matter.
For Trump.
And like, what more? I'm sorry, but what more do you really want to see? One man can only do so much. Yeah, I mean, that's why he's got a good team around him. I mean, you got whether or not people like Pam Bondi or Kat Patel are actually good is in question right now. But one man can only do so much. You got like you're focused on different things. You have issues abroad and issues at home. We want things to work abroad so that we can money can flow, trade can flow. We have money coming in thanks to tariffs. Wars aren't going on as much, so that business can again thrive and we can actually make money on the tariffs. Good job, Trump. 2 million illegals deported. Fraud by Democrat politicians in certain states are being exposed. It remains to be seen whether or not proper action is going to be taken on that. But still, thankfully we have actual journalists to expose that. And that's not a Trump W. But yeah, again, we will see. It's only been a year. Give it a little more time. We'll see how much change actually occurs within the next three years, and if it's unsatisfactory, we won't actually know until then. Like, come on.
They voted for Trump because he said he was going to put that stupid bitch Hillary Clinton in jail. He was going to build a wall and stop all of the migration, and he was going to just go over and bomb the shit out of ISIS. And
all right. So Hillary Clinton being in jail, I agree, that should have happened. I don't know why he didn't follow through with that. That's up to, I don't know. I guess maybe one day we'll learn the reason why. But as far as the wall's concerned, yeah, I mean, look, we're at like zero migration as far as I've heard. The statistics have shown we have apparently zero since I don't know, March. Like he's got army or reserves or something at the border. I hope the wall is being built. I hope we actually. I don't know if it's actually happening or not, but effectively we do have one because of all the manpower we have there. But we need to actually have the physical presence of a wall there to negate the necessity for the manpower to be there at all. So I hope that's actually happening because I don't know. What else did he say?
all of the migration, and he was going to just go over and bomb the shit out of ISIS. And
didn't that happen? I don't know.
And bomb the shit out of all these people in the Middle East, these terrorist groups. That's it. That's why people voted for them. That's exactly why.
I mean, he kind of did do a lot of that, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
he did.
You know, he did stop immigration. There literally is zero illegal immigration since Trump became president. In fact, there's a negative on that. He did bomb ISIS. He did bomb the shit out of ISIS.
Until the right actually wants to do the things that they're promising.
So is there a candidate you would prefer? I assume you don't actually want to vote for Newsom. Maybe you do.
Yeah.
Maybe
No,
you are a Democrat.
no.
No. Okay. So then who's a right winger you want to vote for? Or maybe there isn't one.
No, yeah, there really isn't one. That's
It's kind of doomer, isn't it? So now you're saying if you're
I love how he says that, bro. He says that like
It's
a fucking
kinda
boomer.
isn't one. That's
it's kind of doomer, isn't it?
How old is Michael?
Yeah, he's 35.
No. Okay. So, time. Very good. Oh, no, bro.
nationalist mentality because, like, look, what is the
I am so happy. I am so happy. People are finally stepping out.
I wonder if asmongold means what he's saying, or if he's kind of like trolling. If this is like a big either pander or troll.
It's not.
Like I wonder, because what he's literally saying is, since Trump isn't doing all the things that he really wanted, it would have been better if Kamala would have won. Like that's kind of what he's saying here. It's so mind-boggling. Like I didn't expect this from him at all.
Of the
I'll be
cave.
real. Because Asmongold, he's a
They're
pragmatic
fine.
guy. He's pragmatic and utilitarian very often. And this just kind of feels like it's diabolically illogical.
Finally stepping out of the cave. This is amazing.
Oh my god.
Wow. I let it all burn down. Absolutely.
right going to do other than just like
and this is, and also there's another thing about this is that you see how Michael Knowles creates this like emotional ploy by using the word rape and trying to frame it in a way that would make him sound like he would be a, you know, like an evil person or a bad person for saying and agreeing with this. And then
No, Michael.
The thing is, I'm sorry, I need to interject here as well. The thing is, right? What other word would you use other than rape? What would you call it other than that? When we're talking about, again, importing millions upon millions of people that do not share our values, that want to rape and pillage our country, and in fact do that with staggering efficiency, considering the amount of money that Somalis have pulled from our country in tax dollars. At the same time, completely mismanage everything else that goes on in the country, destroying our infrastructure, destroying pillaging our resources, mismanaging everything. Like that's what Democrats do. They don't know how they're like extraordinarily incompetent or absolutely diabolical in terms of the fact that like look, it's one of two things. They're either fully incompetent or they know exactly what they're doing and they're only trying to enrich themselves, which again, neither is good. One's worse than the other. We need to defend from all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I disagree with this entirely. This take, I can't believe, like, there's. It's such a rarity for me to disagree with Asmongold, and this is something that I disagree with him so wholeheartedly. It's actually surprising to me.
Knowles is right. If a Democrat wins, it would rape the country. No, he's right. Look at what Somalia is doing right now in Minnesota. No, he's completely right. I don't think he over-exaggerated anything. He's completely correct. Just let the Democrats win is ridiculous. It's childish. It pits the perfect against the good. Welcome to adulthood. Absolutely. I completely agree with this. 100%. The problem is just let the Democrats win every time they win. They move the Overton window to the point that we can't go back. Also true. And also they import infinite voters to keep them there forever. It's easy to say let it burn down when you're a millionaire. Like, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That
is correct. It's a lot easier to say that when you're a millionaire. And most of us aren't. And it will be a lot harder for most of us to become one if we allow this to occur. So screw that crap. Oh, that's what that sound is. Cool. Never heard that sound before. That was new to me. but that's cool. 1,000 views, isn't that nice? Thank you for those of you watching. I appreciate you 100%.
Democrats win cause acceleration psyop is getting tiresome. It's beyond stupid to vote for Newsom. I'm disappointed. Bro, it's wild. It's wild. Look at the UK if you want to see what happens when you just let the Democrats win. His comment section is eating him alive for this, and I'm honestly happy about that because I like asmongold. I think he's a rational guy, and I think his viewers are rational people. And that's why I'm happy that he's actually getting pushback. And now he's upset that Michael Knowles is using emotional terms like rape because the Democrats would rape the land or whatever.
So is there down the voters for the thing?
And I'll say again, what else would you call it? What else would you call it? I don't know what else I would call it, frankly. And as you can see, like, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I definitely have a good vocabulary.
Maybe there isn't one.
No, yeah, there really isn't one. That's
kind of doomer, isn't it? Pretty big.
Still allowed.
People, maybe.
Okay, but there's still
restore some
28
of the
million
American
more,
economy.
right? So until these people actually
Yeah,
want to.
so again, I think that he's correct with all the things that he's saying here, Michael Knowles.
But
So you're saying no, they shouldn't vote for any Republican?
Yeah, and literally, if a left guy comes into power, if we would have had Kamala Harris, we would be fucked. We would be mega fucked.
And he just goes, yep.
That right winger, you should let the Democrats rape your country.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you kind of have to. Like, that's the accelerationist mentality. Because, like, look, what is
That's
the right
right.
going to do?
It's such a bad take. It's such a bad take. Oh my god. I'm, like, dude, we're living in upside down world.
That's fucking right.
Oh my god.
Then
dude.
just like a small win here, and like maybe
Yeah.
overturn Roe v. Wade on like a
Dude, I wonder if this is a big grift. I wonder if it's either a grift or, because from my experience, I don't see asmongold grifting a lot. Or even more than that, if it's a troll. Or maybe this is just his opinion, and I'm just like in shock.
federal level, but abortion
Pretty
is
big.
still allowed, like state to state. So it's like it really doesn't do anything. It's like if these people are just gonna like continue.
Maybe you deport
See,
2
but asmongold is pro-abortion.
million people. Maybe
Okay,
you
but there's still
restore some of the
28 million
American
more,
economy.
right?
Yeah, and he's like so satisfied that this is like a popular sentiment among, in my opinion, it's a popular sentiment among the, I guess, Gen Z style people. And I'm sure that I'm gonna get shit for even making this video altogether and making this my opinion, publicly at least. But I don't care. I don't care. I literally don't give a shit. The I don't give a shit, fuck you mentality that I have developed and cultivated lately is very strong. And the reality is that is the based stance. The based stance is saying what you think. And even if I disagree with people that I genuinely do like. And the reality is I think this is completely retarded. I also think celebrating running someone over with your car is fucking immoral and evil. Yes, should the guy have not gotten in his way? True. Should you just drive and hopefully push him away? Yes. It is your moral imperative not to murder the guy, though, and definitely not to celebrate the murder. So yeah, anyway, in my stance, that's where I'm at with all this. Everyone's really riding high because clavicular is really famous right now, but get back to me in 5 years when this dude's probably in jail. This dude could mog every single person on the planet with his looks maxing and everything, but the reality is he is a desperately lonely, insecure individual that's fucking his body and his life for social media attention. Someone who would literally let his country burn because at least he's mogging people and he's rich. I truly pray that he could turn his life around. I hope he finds God, and I hope he becomes a better, more, a less insecure, more, honestly, introspective person. Because if he keeps going down this rabbit hole, chasing social media fame just by being a Giga Chad, it won't end well for him. Asmongold's comment section coming in today with easily the best political analysis I've ever seen in my life. Ever in my life. These guys are unbelievably right. The let the Democrats win cause acceleration psyop is tiresome. Is the Republican Party perfect? Absolutely not. Do I want them to be doing a lot more? Absolutely. Do I hope that they still manage to do more? Yes. Could we prod them in the right direction to keep getting better? Also yes. But every single person that's going down the path of we should just vote for Gavin Newsom because he's a white guy that married a white woman instead of JD Vance who married an Indian woman, or JD Vance is fat and he gets mogged by Gavin Newsom, or, well, JD Vance is 85% good, but he's not 100% good, so therefore I'm going to vote for Gavin Newsom, the guy that wants infinite abortion and wants to see more trans kids. That's a quote. Import infinite illegals, puts social media censorship to anyone that disagrees with them or is Islamophobic. Also retarded. And I'm going to finish this video off with, in my opinion, a very, very fundamental analysis on the West. I think the biggest flaw in Western civilization is the feminization of society. I've said this for a very long time. I really do think so. You have this overly emotional voter base that's voting in retard after retard, having empathy for the people across the world that literally want to kill us. It's this highly, highly volatile, feminized culture. And honestly, I think this is what caused the downfall of ancient Rome as well, for those of you keeping track. And this mindset, this clavicular mindset, has got to be the right-wing version of radical feminized men. I'm not even kidding. Talking about how sexy men are, voting people based on look, just like your characters on The View. I mean, look at this clavicular guy, bro. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. This dude is, he does lip filler and all sorts of like these really cringe surgeries, and he wears makeup and he eyeliner and he does, what the fuck, man? Instead of the feminization of men that you see on the left, this is the version of feminized men on the right. Completely and utterly impotent, insecure, vain, superficial people. And quite literally, I'm happy I'm making this video, even though I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for it, but the reality is that's where I'm at right now. I say what I think, and that's quite literally it. I never shy away from the controversy because quite literally, I don't give a shit. Fuck you. That's the new Nux mantra. Subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye!
I mean, if you can't tell, I share that mantra, by the way. I will say what I think. You will hear my honest opinions on everything that I'm talking about on stream and on video. I will edit down anything I feel like I've said unnecessarily, or you know, anything, any long pauses or what have you, any flubs. Sometimes I leave it in for dramatic effect or what have you, but for the most part, my edited videos are still me, 100%. But before I end the video, I want to make my own point here on Gavin being president of the United States. God forbid. Like, you gotta understand, he's as a California governor, one of the richest states in the, California's net wealth. What's the terminology? Okay, they're the third richest state, richer than other countries, right? And yet he's managed to take all that money and make it disappear magically. Now imagine him, a guy like that, running the entire country. Don't you think that giving someone like that access to levers of power that he's never had before, that he will obviously and absolutely use to enrich not just himself, but everybody else who he considers friend and family and what have you. He'll endorse other scumbags for other positions, offices of power in different states. Those states will then continue to pillage more, and it would, I think, a Gavin Newsom presidency would in fact spell the end of America because of that. If we just vote all Democrat and they all do what Democrats do, we will witness the end of our country as it stands today. It would be catastrophic, to unbelievably catastrophic. And like I say, I'm not the one who's going to be fighting that revolution. I'll probably be dead before it gets to that point, to be honest. But yeah, I that's not, I don't want to see that future. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. Like I say, content on midterm candidates and what their policies are and why they're why those policies are bad or good and what have you, forthcoming. I will get it out, as and when their information becomes available. But so yeah, stay tuned, like, subscribe. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and follow me on these platforms. And remember to think critically